from Owerri, Imo State. So my question is this. In a scenario whereby you have had several encounters of a mission for God or of starting a work for God, and you have a superior which you are under, and it looks so difficult for him to release you, at that moment, what will you do?
I don't know how your system works. What does it mean it looks difficult?
Okay. It looks as if maybe after the ordination, and which the encounter has always continued and has come.
I'm not talking about encounter. I'm talking about your system. What does it take to release somebody in your ministry?
Okay. In the ministry, in our own ministry, nobody has already been released before. So I don't know the protocol.
What do you call release?
That is giving the person go-ahead order to move on with the ministry God has given to him.
To leave the ministry?
Yes.
And go and start another ministry?
Yes, but it is not that leaving the church. You are an outreach minister, which the vision is an outreach ministry, but not starting a church. Yeah. So you are still in the church.
You see, what I'm trying to understand that is because there's something that sometimes we take too far. Can I ask you a question? Do people leave your church sometimes?
Sir?
Do people leave your church sometimes? The members and workers sometimes stop coming.
Yes, sir.
What do you do when they stop coming?
I normally call them, ask them why is it that
now,
they don't come.
when you try and they refuse to come, what do you do?
I leave them.
You see, that's why all this issue of release me, don't release me, doesn't make sense to me. That somebody feels like God is asking him to go and start another work. He has told you, I want to go and start another work. Your job is to pray for him, counsel him, and let him go. I have never told anybody, wait until I release you. If you're a full-time staff, there's a process of departure. It's stated, we pass you through the process, you step away. This issue of wait until 1 year, when I feel led, then you go. There is no Bible verse for it. It's tying people down in slavery. It's not what you... If I say it and you don't like it, call police. Can I talk to you? Because sometimes those things create a lot of tension. And somebody stays in church for 1 year misbehaving. You don't have his loyalty. You don't have his commitment. His heart has gone. And then he's sitting down there because as far as you are concerned, you are holding his destiny. You are not holding his destiny. By the time he has sat down for 6 months and you don't release him, the only option is write a resignation letter if you are a staff. Drop it there. Give them 1 month notice that you are resigning from being a staff. Resigning from being a staff of a church is not resigning from God. Any human being has a right to resign. And then when you have stayed home for 1 month, you can continue your journey. Everywhere is quiet. Because there are tricks we play that is ungodly, unbiblical. Can I talk to you? Your pastors here, I know some of your assistants are here. If somebody walks up to you and says he's leaving, it's not a fight, you left somewhere. You left somewhere. The way you're looking at me, you left somewhere. And being called of God is not a crime. And maybe that man leaving will bring somebody in that will be better positioned to take your ministry forward. Until you have a vacuum, you don't know that a better person is around. Let's stop these things that some of our fathers did that hurt us badly. and they were trying to do it to the next generation. When you see something that is wrong, vow to yourself, I won't do it. When we started building our first staff quarters here, I said to the people, I said, I served in a church, and that church, I was made a pastor. Pastor Edwin was there the day hands were laid on me to be a pastor. We are together in the same meeting and all of that. In that service that they were 32. Then the church grew to 1,000, to 2, to 3. I am full time and still living in somebody's boys' quarter. Nobody paid for accommodation. I was there full time of a church that has grown that much and nothing. The day this young lady came to the house where we are living, where I was courting him, I need to underline that so you can know he was worse than me. Because I was the owner of the beauty, who was the one I'm squatting. So then she came to visit us, and her first time there, the fan was being held together with tie. Everything was working. If the fan blows fast, it will go to heaven. It has to be. But that was where we are. So we started ministry. And I made up my mind, I won't allow my staff be like that. That's all. I won't. When we are building the hospital, as the hospital was going on, we say start that 2-story building as a staff quarters, so that the staff there can have a place there where at least let's have up to many places there. Doctor here, some flowers for the doctors, some for the nurses, some for this, so that when there's an emergency, somebody is in the hospital. In the church, the same thing. Most of my workers live in church accommodation. So you can't say that you saw something that was negative and then you replicated it. Am I wasting your time? You don't do that. Do something nice to change it. So somebody came to you and said, I am leaving. Or somebody said, I caught a vision. You call the person. You pray for the person. Are you with me? Are you with me? You pray for the person. Stand up. You? Yes. What's your name? David who? Oluwa. You pastored in a mega church before. Huh? All around. Both within and outside. One of the biggest churches in this country. I don't want to mention the name, but one of my father's churches. And then you came in here and you said you want to be here, but you're doing your own ministry. And I say, settle down here, see my resident pastor and others. Somebody, well, do you understand what I'm talking to you about? Somebody that has led missions abroad and all of that. He doesn't threaten me sitting here. He's wearing my sticker there, generally to please God. But I know the level he had gone. But I also know the ministry he has. I don't know if you're getting what I'm talking about. My job is to make sure that his face shines. That's all. Please sit down, sir. That's all. So you don't move around as if there's something strange about it. Anybody that wants to own his own thing, let him go and own his own thing. Anybody that wants to sit down in church and serve and grow, let him serve and grow. But they cannot be combined. All I asked him is, are you doing Sunday service? No. What are you doing? I'm into training now of ministers. Okay, don't worry. Sit down here. When you settle down, we begin to use an impact. That's all. You don't allow the devil to make you a tormentor of younger pastors. Don't do that. I hope I am clear. Now, do you mean, Pastor, that I should just get up on Sunday and write a resignation letter and leave my location on Monday? Of course, that's demonic. You don't do that. Before you leave any place, you give them a chance for, number one, a replacement. Number two, checking up and accounting for your tenure. Then thirdly, a proper handover to the person replacing you. If you are hearing me say yes, it should be there. There should be a proper handover. There should be a proper accounting for your tenure. And they have to find somebody there. That's why you don't just give 1 day or 1 month. You talk to them and all of that. But this issue of, okay, you say God is coming, you say yes. Okay, sit down there. When God tells me, then you go. That man who said that is senior brother to God. Because God has to take permission from him to call somebody. He doesn't understand it that way, but God has to take permission from him to call you. God doesn't take permission from anybody to call anybody. What I'm saying, many of you have preached this in your church and used it as a doctrine and used it to tie some people. So as I'm telling you to lose them and let them go, you're angry. That's why the whole place is quiet. You can't slap me. I tell the truth in Christ, I lie not. What you are doing is ungodly.
So much for staying to the end of the video. I believe you have been greatly blessed. Please like, comment and share. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video. My name is Promise John. Thank you so much for watching.